At times it's difficult to let go of something that we have done for a long time. Maybe it's a bad habit or something. We're trying to get away from that, or change our way of thinking, or do our work in a different pattern, a different way. It's very hard to do that. We get into these little things of anxiety and, oh no, I got to go back and do it the way I used to. And we see that all throughout our spiritual life also. The foundation of the spiritual life is ultimately being able to allow God to take guidance. But there are these moments in our lives where we just really say, no, I've been dealing with that in my life. I can take care of it. And yet that's the part where it says, well, okay, if you want to take care of it, that's fine. I would like to be part of it, but God continues to gently encourage us to allow Him to guide us through that. But sometimes our anxiety and our fear makes us want to take control of it again. And I just heard that as I was listening to the Egyptians. What did we do? We let Israel go. Darn, we got to go back and get them. Or we hear the scribes and the Pharisees. We want to see a sign. We're used to seeing these signs from God. What about you? Where are your credentials? And it really brings up the sense, can we allow God to be God? That when God wants to act, when He knows that it is part of His plan and this is what He wills, God will act. And it's a difference between being able to really put our trust in God or not. St. Theodore Guerin, who is the foundress of the Sisters of Providence, she had a phrase she would tell her sisters. We shall trust in the providence of God which has never failed us. Can we say that honestly every day? We shall trust in the providence of God which has never failed us. I was speaking with a friend of mine who's a Lutheran pastor, and when she works with her community, she talks about budgeting in a deficit. And it's an act of faith, she says, because you see how much that you've spent on a certain program or ministry, but if you know that that's important for your community, you budget next year, you increase what you're going to spend on it, and you trust that if this is really what God is leading you to do as a community, that God will find ways to bring the resources to you. And a lot of her community boards are going, they're just, what? You can't do that? Are we trusting that God, if this is what God is asking of us, can we trust that God will bring also the resources we need to do it? If we say yes, we're going to follow that instinct, that guidance. And each one of us here, in our ministries here, we also confront sometimes that fear of risking towards what we understand that this is where God is guiding us into that, and overcoming that fear of saying, oh no, this isn't going to work because of this problem or this issue or this kind of regulation or this is how. Instead of trying to say, well, can we trust in the providence of God, which has never failed us? And that's what the readings are speaking to us today. To continually trust in the providence of God. So may we always have the openness of heart and generosity of spirit to just allow that providence to guide us as God deems.